Tons of new information and details on Splatoon 3 have been released in the past few weeks. It's almost hard to keep up with it all now that Nintendo has started their promotion for the game and they've given us a release date. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to make a video going over some of the new details for Splatoon 3 that you might have missed that I've found over on Twitter. I think this should be a lot of fun, so let's dive into it. So the first one is coming from the Splatoon of North America account, and this one's actually posted very recently. They say that speaking of showing off your style, we've uncovered a new clothing brand called Barazushi, known for high quality performance gear, like this hoodie made of ultra fine sponges. We're conducting durability tests now and wringing out all the dates we can. So a new clothing brand has been revealed for Splatoon 3. I don't think this comes as much of a surprise to anyone, but I'm really interested in seeing exactly what types of outfits are going to be involved here. They did mention durability, so probably more kind of tactical stuff rather than fashionable stuff, but I think that's good. Having a really nice mix of different types of outfits to wear in the game is always a really good thing, and I definitely think they're going to add a lot of new ones that we're really going to like. Not to mention that they're probably going to add even more when the game gets updated throughout the months and such, so I'm really excited to see what new outfits and combinations we can come out with. I'm really hoping that my favorite one is still in the game. This one's a small one, but it's honestly really cute. As you can see, Little Judd has had a slight design change over in Splatoon 3. He has been blow dried. He's looking incredibly fluffy right now, which is absolutely adorable. So I'm excited to see what other characters get updates in terms of their designs in this game. This is obviously a very subtle one, but I could imagine more drastic ones happening as well. I feel like there's going to be a lot of that to see when the game does actually launch, and maybe close to when the game releases and we get more trailers and such. So definitely keep your eye out for which characters get slight design updates in Splatoon 3. Next, Nintendo confirmed that all the basic weapons from previous games will be returning for Splatoon 3, which personally I think is great news. I know there's probably some people who aren't going to be too happy about this. There are some weapons in past games which are more controversial than others that maybe people didn't want to see come back. But honestly, I love it. I love the chaos. I'm sure they'll do enough to kind of balance the weapons out. They've been pretty good with that, and they often release a lot of patches to balance weapons out as well. So I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, but there's always going to be a lot of chaos when the game first comes out anyways, and people are trying out new weapons and new strategies that they didn't know before, and things are just a little bit more broken anyways. So I personally am excited for all the basic weapons to be returning, but definitely let me know in the comments section down below, are there any weapons that you don't want to see come back? Are there any that you're more worried about? I'd love to hear your thoughts. This person mentioned that some of the colors from Splatoon 1 seem to be returning, which is honestly really cool. The ones that they're showing off here in this image, I really like. There are so many different color combinations in Splatoon now throughout all the games, but I gotta say, Splatoon 1 definitely has some of my favorites and some of the ones that linger in my mind the most. So I'm honestly hoping that all of the different color combinations from past games will return. I think that would be really great. This next one mentions that there are some new clothing styles available in Splatoon 3, and honestly these ones all look really cool. They're maybe not the sort of ones that I would wear personally, but again, I'm really happy to see more outfits and styles to wear in the game. This is actually one of my favorite parts of Splatoon, being able to customize my character and really make them look different from everyone else. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what new outfits they have available, and I'm also hoping they do bring back a lot of the past ones as well, as there's just so much potential. This one is the Splatoon 3 box art. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, but I felt like I had to mention it since, honestly, I've seen more fan-made ones going around the internet than the official one at the moment. Personally, though, I do really like the Splatoon 3 box art. It's nice to see the Octolings included properly in it as well. It's not too crazy. I think maybe people were expecting something a little bit different, but this one seems about right for Splatoon 3, honestly. I wasn't really expecting anything too different. I still think it's cool though that now we have official box art for the game, as this is something that people were actually waiting for quite a while. Maybe it isn't as amazing as some of the fan art that we've seen for the box art, but I still really like it. It's simple, but it does its job. This next one mentions that Splatoon 3 has added stats at the end screens of each match. It seems like you can get medals now, which is honestly really cool. So you've got #1 overall splatter, #1 popular target, #1 enemy splatter. I really love stuff like this. Giving the game more progression and giving people things to unlock is incredibly cool. And of course, we did recently learn about a new feature which Nintendo has revealed, where you can basically get your own titles with customizable backgrounds in Splatoon 3. So I definitely think that is something that is going to make a lot of people happy. Honestly, the UI changes have been great in themselves, but seeing actual new achievements achievements to unlock is really great, and I'm curious which other ones they'll be available. I'm sure there could be ones for maybe doing really poorly as well, which might kind of seem like it defeats the point. But honestly, I think it'd be really funny if they gave you one like #1 no kills or something like that. That would honestly be hilarious. So I'm really eager to see what other types of stats and little medals they give you at the end of these matches. I'm sure a lot more is going to be revealed in the coming months and days and such. Nintendo has also revealed the triple ink strike, which looks really cool. I'm actually personally super excited about this one. They shared a little video of it over on their Twitter if you want to check it out over at Splatoon NA. I'm not sure how people are going to feel about this one personally, but I think this is one that I'd definitely like to try out. They mentioned that it is a modified version of the weapon originally discovered in Inkopolis. If you think it looks impressive here, wait till you see it in action, and it does look really cool honestly. I'm super excited to try this one out for myself. I'm really curious to see which special weapon is going to turn out to be the most overpowered right away. In another clothing related tweet from them, they say the brand Taco Roca has updated its legacy Arrows shoes. The new Arrows are lighter and more flexible with added ventilation. But this isn't the case of function over fashion. We're assured by our staff sneak ahead that they still look fresh. Again, more clothing updates. It seems like we're getting quite a lot of those. I personally think that's really cool. It doesn't seem like anything major, of course, but still, clothing updates are always a good thing. A really minor detail that this user noticed is that an interesting and subtle addition from the Splatoon 3 trailer was the black X that appears when a teammate is splatted. So this only appears for a split second. It's not something that is going to really distract from the game or such, although maybe for some people that could be a little bit of an issue. Thankfully though, it does seem very subtle like the tweeter mentioned here, and personally I think cool little changes like this really add to the game and help separate it from Splatoon 2, which I think is something that a lot of people are looking for at the moment, differences between Splatoon 3 and 2. Of course, there are a lot for us hardcore fans, but I think some of those who are still deciding whether to buy the game or not would like to see even more of these. This final one is really interesting. They mention that Splatoon 3 is set to feature save data cloud support unlike Splatoon 2, letting you back up your progress and gear. Now, this is something that has been heavily discussed within the Nintendo community. Certain games have not had cloud backups at all, which has always proved to be quite a controversial decision on Nintendo's part. So I definitely think it's a really good idea that Splatoon 3 has them. Animal Crossing New Horizons might even be to thank for this, since it took a lot of convincing on Nintendo's part for them to finally add cloud data backups to Animal Crossing New Horizons. The feature still isn't really where a lot of people would like it to be, but it is better than nothing, and I'm really happy that this is happening for Splatoon 3 as well. So let me know in the comments section down below what other new details you've noticed for Splatoon 3. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Splatoon news and content.